welcome to the Blue Sofa. Today we are gonna dive a little bit into something I call the savior syndrome, and it is a syndrome that keeps a lot of women stuck in their business, and I have definitely been experiencing this myself. It is what we call a wound, savior wound, and I want to talk about it because maybe you are already in business and you have experienced this, or maybe you are starting out in business and you know this pattern from other places in your life. Regardless, this is something that, if not addressed and healed and balanced out, it can definitely become a very big thing in your business. So let me ask you something to ponder about. And I want to say, this is actually a little bit of a vulnerable topic to talk about, because it's very near and dear and close to a lot of women, because we kind of disguise it as care and devotion, right? But underneath that, it's a wound, it's a savior wound that keeps us stuck. So I want to just start by saying there's no judgment from me at all, and I want to invite you to do the same. That don't judge yourself if you're experiencing this. It's very normal, but it's also one of these hidden things that keeps you stuck and that keeps you wanting to, not lead, not impact more, not help and serve more people because it's too overwhelming. So let me ask you something very gentle, and let me ask you something with and invite you to be so respectful to yourself when you answer this, but also honest, Are you actually building a business, or are you unconsciously trying to save your clients or save the world or save, your niche, or however we're going to frame it? Because these two things do look similar on the surface, but they create very, very different realities over time. So I see this pattern again and again in female founders and female entrepreneurs who are deeply, deeply caring, deeply competent, and that really have a pure heart and want to impact. They want to make a change, that they are what we call change makers, right? But they are also secretly very tired and burned out and resisting and feeling resentful in their business at the same time. So these are women who cares about their clients and customers and products. Women who feel responsible and are what I hear these women say is I am responsible for my business. I'm responsible for my life. I'm the creator. I'm the one who are in charge. I am the leader. That's what they're saying. That's what they're feeling. That's the identity they identify. And it's people, women mostly, who they don't want to abandon anyone. They want their business to be inclusive. They want people to get transformations and results, and all those things. And on the outside, it does look like devotion, right? And maybe if you have been in this situation, and I have most certainly, actually, to be honest, a little bit of a secret from me to you is I have never ever met a female entrepreneur and founder grown to more than 6 figures who have not been in this situation. So I feel it's something we really need to talk about. So it looks like devotion, it looks like passion, it looks like drive, but inside it feels like pressure, and business feels heavy, and there is a hesitation. So again, maybe you are really in business right now and you are beyond 6 figures and you feel this. I'm going to dive a little bit into how you can kind of resolve it. But even though maybe you're not at 6 figures yet and you don't really feel this yet, take a look around in your life and see, do I have these tendencies? Because the thing is with leadership and being the CEO and the founder and the entrepreneur and the one who's in the business and leads the mission, right, is that we are people, we're humans, and we bring our patterns into our business. So taking a look at patterns, taking a look at what's going on inside of me is maybe one of the most potent decisions and strategies and tools you can get in business. Of course, alongside with all the pillars of a successful business, right? So if you feel this way, the quiet tiredness, a little bit of hesitation, a little bit of resistance maybe. Clients might feel emotionally too entangled to you. You have a sense that you can never really step away. You feel that you need to be available all the time. You feel that you are in some capacity responsible for your clients' results without them actually telling you to be. And maybe they do expect it from you, but maybe they don't. Like, I don't think, I can name very few clients of mine who ever wanted anything else from me than guidance. They never felt that I was responsible for their results, but I felt that. So again, it's just to explain that this can definitely be an inside thing, like a thing inside of you, more than it is, you look at your clients or you have conversation with your clients, and that's never what they expect. That's never what they expect. It's because it's a wound, right? And sometimes clients do expect it, and then it's not only a wound that is like manifested into your clients, and it's something you lead with in your business. So let's talk about it, because it is called the savior syndrome. And it's a thing. It's a thing. And I didn't know this. To be honest, I didn't know this. And if I had known, I am sure I would have dealt with it, because for me, it made me hesitate growing my business. It was one of those things where I was like, I don't think I need more clients. I don't think I want more clients. I don't think I want more people on my newsletter, people on Instagram, and so on, because I felt this pressure of giving and giving and giving, basically saving, and of ensuring that my clients would get results, right? So savior syndrome is this quiet wound we can have inside of us. That's like this nice girl wound, right? This, I want to be liked, I want to be acknowledged. But it is, even though sometimes we can feel like it's an ego thing, like I need praise, it can definitely also not be about that. And what I feel is very important, that was very important for me to understand, and very important for the clients that I work with now, when we talk about this, is to understand that there is a difference between your competence and your mission and your drive, and that version of you that is like a great leader, that version of you that really do what you do excellent, and this wound. Because the savior syndrome has nothing to do with being a bad leader or being like a bad founder, like the UK, not having the competences. It has nothing to do with this. It is really an inside thing, something that can be resolved. Most of the time, for me, it was actually not about getting praise or being better or something like that. It was never about that, actually. It was more about, in my mind, the voices, or the voice that was like talking to me said to me, my clients really need me. They need me, or the voice said, I can't just automate this. They won't get the same results, or they need my coaching. I need to be hands-on. Another person can't do this, or if I don't show up, then they will struggle, or I don't want to be cold and distant. I don't want to be that kind of person. And what happens, and this is when we look at it from a business perspective, is what happens actually is that you suddenly start building a business around your availability, being there, and that you are the one holding everything together. So the savior is a version of the mother, right? And what we want the mother to become, we want the mother to become the queen, the empress, the one who's wise and the one who's guiding it. But when we identify and we find that this voice speaks the truth, like they need me, I can't just automate this. If I don't show up, they will struggle. They need me, they need my coaching. I don't want to be cold and distant. So when we listen to that, we build a business that actually is not built around structure, but is built around that we have to manage things. And let's get really practical about this, because savior syndrome will actually be something you can see in your strategy. Like, how does this show up in your business model, the way you choose your business model? So you can feel like the only thing that can help your client is high touch offers. Like, you can't let go of your high touch offers. That could be like one of the practical things in which the savior syndrome actually shows up in. Like, you can't let go of high touch offers, because deep down, if you're really honest with yourself, and this is a reflection, right? Like, feel into this. Is this the truth for you, or is it not? Like, but if you feel this and you're like, damn, the reason why I can't stop, I want to scale my business, but I can't stop offering one-to-one, and that's totally sabotaging my business here, is actually because this savior syndrome very, very active within me, right? So that's like where one place where it shows up very like practical in your business model. Another place is over access. It is not your job to ensure that your clients, get results. This is a little bit harsh said. It is your job to provide what you promised, and that will be, it's your job to show up the way you promised to show up, and it's your job to deliver the material, the product, the curriculum, the course, whatever it is that you promised. It is your client's job to go through it and to make the transformation and to implement it. And if you are over accessible, it can be because you have this savior syndrome and you think it's your job, over responsible one, and you think it's your job. It could also be constant emotional presence. So do you know that feeling where, I don't know if you have kids, but I do, I have 4, right? And I know the moment they step in over the door frame, the moment they open the door, I know how they feel. I know what's been going on. I know if something is off. I read it on them. I can feel it on them in 2 seconds. Super appropriate for being an emotional, available mom, right? Super, super appropriate. Really inappropriate in your clients, right? Unless it's your job. So really inappropriate in most clients' interactions, because it is not your job to constantly be emotional presence for your clients. It is their job to come to you and tell them what's going on, what do they need coaching, mentoring, guidance, therapy around. Not your job, right? So being constantly emotional presence give you this, it's actually a very powerful trait in highly sensitive women who are very like in tune, very intuitive, and also who are very like in sync with their feminine energy. So if you look at it from a balanced version, it is the most amazing superpower, because it helps you navigate very quickly. It's extremely healing, and it's also like it helps you tune into people so you can mentor and guide them with a precision that is like sharper than a Swiss knife. And when it's imbalanced, it kind of pulls you into this constant emotional being present with your clients, even though they never asked you for it, which drains your energy and also caps your capacity. So it's like, this is like one of my big things, by the way. So I'm like super emotionally in tuned. And it's amazing. Like, I can coach a person in 10 minutes and, they would have had to like show up for coaching in 3 months to do the same in 10 minutes, because I'm so in tune. But the problem is that if you are for example, if your nervous system is out of balance, or you are kind of out of balance, you have this savior wound going on, then what's going to happen is it's going to drain your resources, and it's going to come from a place of fear, basically, like some kind of fear. Like, I need to be emotional presence, otherwise they won't feel good. They won't feel good. They won't be able to do what they're supposed to do. They're not harmonic and balanced people. And again, it's not your job. As a mom, of course, it's amazing, because you help your kids grow up to be in tune with their own emotions. But for clients, it caps your capacity, because you will unconsciously tell yourself, like, I have 100 clients right now, or I have 1 client or 10 clients. If I were to scale this, it would be, and excuse my friends, it would be a shit show. A shit show. I won't be able to do that. I don't have the capacity. That's what your unconscious is going to tell you if you have this, if your savior syndrome is pushing you into this constant emotional presence. Also, another thing that can happen, or the way it show up, is being the glue that holds everything together. Again, can you see how this is an amazing ability if it was your job? You know, if it was your job, if you were, for example, if we talk about, for example, being a mother, again, like, I'm just going to give you that metaphor, like being a mother, it is an amazing thing. Or being the mother, you know, definitely a dad can be like that mother figure, so it's not like necessarily like a female trait, but it's an amazing competence to be able to hold things together in a very balanced way. In business, however, it can really cap your capacity, because again, your nervous system and your subconscious mind is going to be like, so if I have to manage yet another product, yet another membership, yet another group program, how am I going to do that? I'm going to burn out, right? So, I mean, when we are experiencing this savior syndrome, we might, because of this wound, make choices that are soothing the wound instead of actually being for our higher best and being the most aligned business model for the growth and the vision we have for our business. We do it not because it's the best choice for us. We do it because it feels more safe. And I think the thing that I kind of learned, I want to say the hard way, but I mean, what is ever hard? I mean, if there is like there's some wisdom gained, and I really think I have gained a lot of wisdom from really working with this wound. So I don't know, probably hard is the wrong word. But anyway, I learned this, and what I learned is that your business is really depending on your nervous system. Or if your business is like depending on your nervous system, it will exhaust you. And it is depending on your nervous system if you have savior wounds going on. So we want to, instead of just saying, oh, let's heal our nervous system, what we actually want to ask ourselves is, do I have wounds? Do I have a savior wound? Because we want to transform that. That's the transformation. And then your nervous system is going to be like, oh, it's all good. Now we can scale, right? So being in this savior wound triggers your nervous system, right? And when your nervous system is directly linked to your business, we have this, like, we can't scale. Or we make choices, we make decisions based on the wound because it feels safe, because our nervous system can't hold anymore. So the cost of like allowing ourselves to be here, and, you know, not diving into through the inner work of, for example, the savior. It's not just burnout. It's not just like this, you know, secret, or, you know, the hidden burnout, or the resentment, or the hesitation, like the thing we never really talk about. It's not just that. It's also like really, really tangible stuff, like difficult. It's very difficult to scale. It's feeling guilty every time you want space, every time you want to, you know, close down a program. Is resentment that you don't want to admit. When there's something we don't want to see, we don't want to admit to, we can be absolutely sure that there's a gift there, that there's something that wants to lead us and guide us, right, to another place. We can be absolutely sure that resistance has a message for us, and in that message, that's like the next step. And also, the problem is, again, we build a business and a business model based on a structure that collapses if you step back. And I think that's the big thing here. Like, the big thing we don't talk about is that if you want to scale your business and you want to create a structure where if that's like your dream goal, we really do need to think about and talk about the wounds. The wound savior wound is one of them, right? And it's not because you do anything wrong, really, but it's because the structure in which you build your business, the same for me, was never designed to hold you. You were designed to hold that. So here's a few reframes that I want to offer you to give you some perspective. I think what I learned is just like 10 seconds of of what I learned, like the empowered version here. It's first of all, it is not your job to rescue your clients. It is not. When we try to rescue our clients, we take away transformation from them. We do them the biggest disservice. The same with your kids. You're not here to rescue your kids. You're here to be the guide. You're here to be the cheerleader. You're here to share your wisdom. It's the exactly same thing with your clients. You are here to build containers that works. Service is not measured in proximity. Impact is not measured in availability. And leadership is not proven by self. And I think the big thing for me was really understanding, like deep down within every cell of my body, that a business model that really impacts, that makes like the biggest difference that you can imagine, is not less loving. It has to serve you as well, because you are the leader of the mission and the vision. And it is not less loving or less caring to build it in a way that nurtures you as well. It is sustainable. And it is like the foundation for success. And not only success, but legacy, right? So maybe if you feel this resonates with you, I will invite you to just maybe take, a little bit of time this week and ask yourself, where have you confused being needed with being effective? And just notice, it's not like it's not because you need to fix anything. It's just about really seeing, because clarity starts when you see things. So where have you confused being needed with actually being effective? And if you realize that, my business actually feels heavy, I am actually building on being over responsible rather than having like a real structure in my business, then I want to invite you to reclaim clarity. It is a $33 mini course, and it helps you really come back to clarity, come back to like, what is it that I really want, like without all the mental chatter and noise that we can have going on. And if you want my business structure, like my feminine business structure, like how I build my business, how I build it on a structure that supports me instead of like tearing me down, that's the work you will find inside Rising Star. Rising Star is like the framework. I poured everything into it. Every single drop of what I do, like the mindset, the energetic work, the clarity, the business, like everything I do in each pillar of my business to create something that is proven, that you can scale to 6 figures, and that is built on structure and systems instead of, guessing or, bringing in, I think this is what's gonna work, or even showing up from the more wounded side of you. Is like teaching you how to think like a female CEO and doing it in a way that doesn't burn you out from day one. So definitely check that out. It helps you also like how to sell, how to market, how to produce products that are actually sellable, but also authentic and true to you, and true to what you want to bring to the world. I used to say that Rising Star is how to turn your contribution into a 6-figure business, and it actually is. It's like everything I know about scaling to 6 figures is inside of Rising Star. So check that out. Other than that, I will see you in the next episode of The Blue Sofa. And if you have any insights you want to share with me, come join me on Instagram. I love to hear from you. So, go DM me your insights, and I will celebrate with you, together with you on Instagram. So see you in the blue sofa next week.